large tool bags. Mini packs. Black large tool bags. Huh? Okay, yeah, it's nothing to worry about.
It's not all of it.
Half-inch of range changes nothing we're doing. There's black fupas. I think we only did 50 black fupas. Purple fanny packs. I don't think we've ever done these. Purple fanny packs. Those will have black guts in them. I guess we don't have purple pack cloth. We did some more M cabs. I think there's half a dozen of these red ones. We have, what are these? It's a good question. Oh, these are more fupas. I've got black fupas, and I think I've got danglers also. I thought I saw danglers. I've got multicam black, medium clothes bags, woodland large tool bags, OD black large tool bags. These are tons of promo bags that every one of these ships an order out. These are all the free items. I don't even know what those are. Those are all large tool bags there. These are large tool bags probably. I think these are large tool bags also. Medium clothes bags, large clothes bags, vehicle med bags. We've got black vehicle med bags here. A lot of stuff, tons of stuff. Scrappy, we're not doing belt resizes anymore. We don't have the manpower for it. I can't build enough normal stuff every day. So that was always a frustration. Dudes with belt rebuilds were always the guys that needed it the fastest. Crazy. So we've ceased that. It was just creating too much problem, and it was actually quite a relief when we stopped doing them. JT, what up? Byron Roberts, Jason Rappaport, what up? Tool bag Christmas. Do you need a tool bag, Jason? I got you, bro. Vance, your wife has a purple fanny pack with no Velcro on the front. Right on. Oh, pink thread, nice. Brawl Dog, Michael Turner. I like the blue bag. Yeah, it's different, right? So it's navy blue with a royal blue handle, white Velcro. You would see that and definitely not think gun gear. Tips on how I can get the Velcro to get a stronger bond. I don't know. I've never had anybody that had a problem with the Velcro we use. So not. Oh, you mean on your used belt? You don't. You just, instead of paying $25, you pay $55 and get a new belt. Isaac Barrett, what's up? Peck perspective. Very indiscriminate. Yes. Yes, very indiscriminate. Screams boat bag. Got right on. Boat bag, boat bag. Let's go up front, see what's up here. Medium clothes bags, got some butt packs. We have okay, are we back? I don't know what the last thing you guys heard was. I don't know why it cut off. Firewood totes, we've got all kinds of slings, Cali bags, lever gun chest rigs, AKM4 micros. We have a 6-mag stacked remaining. Got a few butt packs there. More, all kinds of slings back in there. We did the lever guns. These are M1 Grand. Looks like there's only one M1 Grand chest rig remaining. There's a Coyote shotgun rig back in there, a couple woodland rigs. I've got that Arctic rig there if you want an alpine shotgun rig. The tool bags are dwindling down. Remember last week when it was 2 rows all the way back, all the way across? Not anymore. There's a few different colored M caps. I've got some fupas. I've got some fanny packs. Everybody is doing the mad dash right now, sending emails. Is it going to be here by Christmas? Probably not, guys. If it hasn't shipped yet, I mean, the truth is we really don't know. And we don't have any control over it. There's a whole thread about a dude ordered something. I don't think it was even from us. And the post office is taking 10 days and what's going on. And they're a federal agency. Why don't the feds regulate them? Why don't they control them? Well, guys, it's Christmas. This happens every single year. You just had Black Friday. And then amplify it with all the other bullshit going on. I don't know why we are surprised that our thing didn't get there. I ordered a rabbit nest box. It's about this big. From Santee, California. It comes from a company called KW Cages. And it was like $45 to ship the motherfucker. My only option, the only option they offered was FedEx Home. And this is a business. So FedEx Home doesn't come here. So I had 2 options. Overnight FedEx, which was $450, or second day FedEx, which was $200. Needless to say, I just bought the motherfucker off Amazon for $35 with no shipping charges. Like, you can have anything you want. It just costs money. I mean, you had other options. Lever gun rig. Thank you, Joshua. Spooky Fow, Apex IX. Yes, there is some IX in there. If you like the IX, I can show you what we have. Radio Made Easy. What's up, buddy? Did you hear? I did not verify this myself. I'm in some of the, oh my God, prepper survival groups. And there was a lot of posts saying that 6 o'clock news is reporting solar flares have hit the earth, or solar flares have taken out a lot of communication around the world, and that the worst of them are supposed to hit the earth in 2 days. I don't know if you heard that. I would suspect if we look, it's probably a pretty common occurrence. Loco, what up? People are stupid. They think we live in another universe. Well, we had it really good, right? Amazon has us all wrecked over it. We had it good, and now, like everything, everybody is understaffed. Like Amanda talks to our postmaster every day, 5 days a week when we go in there. Like, we know these people. And they're supposed to operate with a staff of 1,000, and they have 300. And the 300 they have, right, at the main hub, the 300, fucking every day you got 20% of those motherfuckers that don't show up. Bring it on. I'm putting on my kilt and a gladius. Right on. I like it. Solar flares. Josh, 100% scam. Are you guys seeing all the federal government's hiding the federal, I don't even know what they're calling it, right? And if you look it up, everything says it's bullshit. It's all horseshit. They'll have Joe Rogan saying it. They're using AI to have all these people. It's amazing that YouTube fucking censors such benign stuff, but they let these people run paid targeted ads with AI pretending that other people said this shit. Last weekend got hit with G-class solar flares. It didn't do much. I'll have to see what class flares are hitting us this weekend. Interesting. It's been like this for 4 years now, though, is all I meant. People should know what to expect. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, bang, bang. And I don't know that you commented or anything anywhere. I wasn't talking about you. I didn't see you in that thread, or unless you're posting to somebody else. People are stupid. They think we live in another. Yeah, we've been spoiled. Like, we have had it so good. Like, everybody always talks about ammo prices, right? The good old days, the good old days. These are the good old days. We're going to look back 10 years from now and be like, man, we had it good right now. Is there any adult that doesn't know ordering a week before Christmas? Yeah. Eagle, I'm well. How are you, buddy? DJ Guzman, what's up, bud? Hey, we sent your stocking out. I went to message you on Facebook and couldn't find you. I know I've talked to you there before. We sent your stocking out. I sent you a woodland one because we didn't have the multicam black. Landon, what up? Yeah, if it's censored, it's true. Yeah, if the FDA wants to ban it, you know that that's a product that probably works for you. Powder is going up, which will spill over to manufacture. Yeah, but that's all the time, man. There's always something going up. Always. The government is out of ammunition because we've given it all away. So they are tasking more. They are standing up ammunition plants that have been shut down. They are refitting World War II ammunition plants. There's a ton of that shit going on. X-class solar flare. Is that worse or is that not as bad? Time to get some DuPont stock. DuPont make powder? I guess I completely forgot about that. You really want to make money, buy stock in all the hormone and the gender reassignment technology companies. At least that's what they're projecting is the truth, yeah. Well, I mean, you have a ton of, you have a whole alternative military, right? There's a whole other government, like the deep state. Why does the IRS need all these weapons and ammunition and armored vehicles? Why does the Board of Education need all of these guns? Why does the Department of Transportation need all of this equipment to include all of the helicopters and stuff, right? Because the military, when they call up the military to fight within the United States, much of the military is going to be like, yeah, we're not doing that. They're going to go home to their families, right? There is another military, and those are the assets for that other military. All those fuel stocks, all those food stocks. Plus, you have your replacements coming across the border right now. How do you think they're going to equip those people? These guns are for the illegals. Yeah, I like solar flares. I like solar flares make the northern lights brighter. Is making money worth giving away your morals, though? Look, I'm just telling you, if you want to make money, that's where it's at. Do you think you not spending your money there is going to make any fucking difference at all? Or is you spending your money there and making a lot of money going to allow you to do things that are better for you and your family and the things you believe in? Those are conversations you have to decide. I don't have any stocks or bonds. I am not invested anywhere there. Ammo shortage, civil war, has been on the state table for years. Stay focused. Yeah, absolutely, man. Preston, what's up? Run the treadmill? It's a pretty badass treadmill, man. Ice Mike, what's up? The replacements are either crazy or stupid. Well, they're also harder and more savage than the people that they will bring chaos upon, right? All the prisons that they cleaned out of Venezuela, for instance, right? Do you know that the cartels are running paid targeted marketing all through TikTok, telling people from Africa and China and places how to get to the United States? They are the ones transporting all of these people through Mexico and such right to the U.S. border. They are profiting from that, right? It doesn't matter whether they're organized or not. Will they bring chaos We have our own crazy people in the United States, which are somewhat more domesticated, and they're bringing plenty of chaos inside the United States. What happens when you bring non-domesticated, somewhat seemingly pack animals into the United States, where people are mostly pacified and not conditioned to violence? They can bring chaos on a level that the United States has never seen for the average U.S. citizen, especially U.S. citizens who have not been abroad. Ice Mike, what's up? You think you like the blue bag? Right on. There's only a few of those. If you guys want them, you better move on them. You should see the arm munition manpower in America. It's an aging population. Most are close to retiring and not enough new. Yo, fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah. You're absolutely right. Like Lake City and those places. But they are standing them up, right? When people think that they get drafted and they're not going to go to war, a lot of those people that they would draft are not able to go to combat. They're not physically fit. But if there truly was a civil war, or the United States truly was at war where we declared war, they're going to open all those coal mines. They're going to open those refineries. They're going to open those factories. They're going to open those plants. And they're going to take motherfuckers and conscript them and put them right into those trades. Remember Rosie the Riveter? Those women didn't know how to rivet and do metal work, but they fucking stood up pretty quick. Finally getting like a surgeon making my pals webbing. Appreciate DIY videos. Got to toot my own horn, but I am just knocking it out of the park. Quality speedway. Great, man. Good. All the ammo components have gone up. But guys, like we say the ammo components have gone up, right? No doubt. Supply and demand. What are ammo components made from? You tell me. I would assume that they have some petroleum byproduct in them. Is petroleum up? Is the transportation cost up? Is all labor cost up, right? To have employees at a staff level that you need, you have to pay your employees way more than they're worth. In order to have a full staff capacity, you have to pay them more. To include the ones that don't deserve more pay, you have to pay them more so that you are able to steal quality workers from other companies. Just getting off the farm was a big incentive in World War II. Yep. I get to wear boots and shoot guns. Well, that's the whole deal, right? When Joel Salatin was brought to Congress, it was, what was it, the Department of Interior, I think it was, he went to talk to. He thought he was talking about food. And what they wanted to talk about was how FFA, Future Farmers of America, and those programs in the rural communities, the participation had dropped. People were not as interested in those programs. And what they said was, rural children are thought to be lower IQ and are easier to convince to go into the military, and the best troops are small town farm kids who will follow orders and are not afraid of hard work. That was the actual conversation. You can see Joel Salatin actually speak of that on Joe Rogan. In a small town where you have multiple generations, if your family are employees, the kids coming up look for that dream job. In this town, the dream job is to work for the power plant, which is mostly shut down now, or DuPont, which has changed names, or the Tennessee Valley Authority to be a game warden or a forest cop. That's the dream job for a kid. The escape for a kid is to join the military to get out of this small town. Do you only use US-made plastic webbing parts? I think I know the answer to that already, just curious because I tried to buy some stuff from Duraflex and got a runaround. Yeah, you have to buy cases to buy from Duraflex. You have to find somebody like me who is buying from Duraflex and is willing to sell you a few parts. That is not me, just because it's such a fucking hassle. I can't ship enough of my own $1,000 orders to be shipping a guy 10 buckles. It literally costs me more to ship 10 buckles to you because of the time and manpower than to ship my actual high dollar orders. You have to find that guy. I use National Molding, which is Duraflex, right? Duraflex is National Molding. That's what I use. Now, should you stay with that, or should you go to ITW Nexus and use Gillytex? Starting over, I would probably use Gillytex at this point. They have the patents on a lot of those buckles, so when the other companies want to implement something similar, they have to change the material some, change not the material, but the actual mold. So the Duraflex ends up being a little bit bigger and bulkier on some of their stuff. Now, the reason I use that stuff is because it's all that was there. There was no Gillytex when I started building this stuff. And we just started using that, and it interfaced and interlocked with all of the buckles that were in on the national stock system, right? So a Marine got issued a CFP 90 pack on the ship, and on mission or something broke a buckle on his SOE gear. He could take a buckle off of any of those issue packs, and it would interface perfectly with our stuff. The reason I ask is because I made a purchase from Woojin. Yeah, Woojin is not the same at all. It doesn't use, or now I haven't seen Woojin stuff in a long time. I have Woojin stuff from 2005 when I came home and started over. It doesn't interface with, it doesn't clip in with anything else. You leave it out in the sun and it fades. It is just a very different product. Which is Korean company, but they have some really awesome shit, very good prices, and they work with people like me. I would say that right now at your level, I wouldn't worry too much about it, man. I would go with what you can get. Anything to avoid the coal mine, yeah. Yeah, and your child labor laws are going to go out the window too. All that shit's going to fucking cease, just like during the Great Depression. The regulations, so like somebody was saying, a couple people on here the other night were saying about trash pickup in California, right? The regulations are you have 3 trash cans and your green waste has to go into one, all your recyclable stuff. Your paper and plastic and recyclable stuff has to go in the blue bin, and your glass bottles and stuff. And then your actual garbage has to go in the black bin. And they'll still give you a fine. If you put your shit in the wrong trash can, they'll write you a ticket for it. But when it gets to the dump, there is no more recycling program. It all goes in the same fucking place. But they're still penalizing you and harassing you at the end user as the homeowner, resident. But when it gets to the dump, it all goes in the garbage. It all goes in the dump. Right, they acted like they were going to do business with me. No minimum order accounts and sent me a sample pack, but they ghosted me. So I agree with, yeah, it's just weird. And also keep in mind right now, I'm ordering from mills, like when you buy a roll of webbing, you buy it from a dude probably who, bought a case of webbing from a company. That case came from a wholesaler somewhere, and that wholesaler got it from the mill, right? The manufacturer where they actually wove it. I buy from the point of origin, right? And even right now, companies that I've done business with for 30 years, it's taken them a couple days to get an email back to me. I really think that they're only open in the staffing. I think the employees are actually only there a few days. I think that they're working on a skeleton crew, and they're only open part-time because business is down and supply is down for a lot of these places. This building right here, I have 2 heat and air sets over here I have 3 heat and air sets over here, and then I have a couple other little ones. Just to turn this building on. Now, all the heat is on gas, right? The electric bill for this building is $3,500 to run this building. Their buildings are way bigger than these. Those warehouses and stuff, they're way bigger than my building. So I would assume they're probably only open in the buildings a couple days a week. Like, things are bad a lot of places. And us as the consumers, if you don't own a business, you just don't know it because you're not dealing with it. I'd love to buy so much shit from them, but I can't meet their minimums. The minimums from MMI Textile is insane. No way to even start up when you have to buy 25,000 in one fabric or one color. So Spooky, I don't know what you're talking about. I buy from MMI. MMI will sell you a roll of webbing, or MMI will sell you cases of webbing or Velcro. So I'm not sure that I'm understanding your post there. Yeah, recycling is a joke. It's just tax, man. It's just another fucking tax. The feds give them federal grant. Why do they want your kids in school? What's the federal grant money or the federal money to the municipality and the state? The state gets money. The state trickles it down to the school. $64,000 per kid? Is that why they want your kid enrolled? It's 64 grand, right? What's the best investment for 24? Land. Land. Property. That's the real answer. If you have property, you can put tents. If you have property, you can put decks. If you have property, you can grow food. If you have property, you can, for the most part, do what you want to do. Even if you have codes and zoning, if you have enough property, you can almost do what you want to do because you have enough property they can't see on your property. You ever try TN webbing out of Knoxville? We talked about it a while back. Yeah. I used to buy a lot of stuff from TN webbing because they had seconds, and mostly your seconds you couldn't tell from first run goods. For the last probably 20 times I have emailed TN webbing about stuff, they have not had anything that I have asked about. And it was stuff that I had bought every month for years prior. So I'm not sure what is up with TN webbing. I've dealt with MMI for years. You just have to meet their minimum. In fact, I'll be placing the order with them. Guys, I don't know what you're talking about. I literally just placed an order with MMI, and I ordered two, not cases. I ordered 2 rolls of, I don't even remember what it was, the Alpine edge tape, I think. 2 rolls of edge tape and 2 rolls of, I think I ordered 3-inch loop Velcro. And then I ordered a case of, I don't remember what, Arid or something. Just some random shit that I thought, it'd be nice to put this on here instead of Coyote. Yeah, maybe their first order, I don't know. I mean, we do order cases of Velcro. Now, with that said, guys, MMI is like ridiculously expensive. I mean, absolutely fucking retarded expensive. But they're the only people really doing multicam Velcro. And are they even doing it? Is it coming from them, or are you just not aware of point of origin? You know, you can get multicam edge tape and Cryptek edge tape from another place. How much property do I need for Dexter cows? So I don't know about Dexter cows, but it's typically 1 acre per cow for full-size cows. And the real question is, do you have to, you say how many acres, right? How many acres per cow, but how much grass do you have to feed each cow, right? Are you going to bring the grass in? Do you have a neighbor that produces 100 couple acres of grass where you can just get rolled hay from him? Because that kind of changes things. And it also is dependent on the property. Overton, what's up? Mr. Gregg, I don't know why you're telling Amanda glad she could join us. She's here every single night. think they are not producing a lot of mil-spec colors, a lot of, at least that's what I heard. The only reason I even know MMI is because they run multicam. If you look at their posts on their Instagram page, 90% of their post is multicam pattern properties. And anything they're running in solid colors, I can buy another place for literally a third the price. So you can have 1.3 of a cow. Overton, what's up, buddy? How are you, man? I know I've missed some comments in here. Scrolling back. What's up, JW? Met Scully for the first time the other day. Streetwear. Where? Oh, hey, what's up, Mark? How are you? Where'd you run into Jeff at? He's scared of dudes with tattoos. You know that, right? He probably thought you were going to pull out a switchblade, like an old-time switchblade with all the tattoos you got. They have the best multicam. They do have the best multicam. John Tay is a great site. They do have the best multicam black. West Virginia, we'll be in West Virginia, probably a mixture of bringing in feed and using land. So Sarah, make sure when you get there, make friends with your neighbors and like-minded people. There's going to be somebody there with cows. Find the guy with cows and find out, is he growing the grass or does he get his grass someplace else? And when you meet them, I wouldn't even immediately ask, I wouldn't go for the ask. I would meet them and see what you can do, right? Add value to the person that you will need something from in the future. Spent about $1,000 on hay this year for 15 cows, and they run about 20 acres. It's not cheap to keep large animals, no. But you do need a large ruminant if you're going to build soil properly, right? We can confine them or we can rotationally graze them. And if you can rotationally graze them and have a lower density, you will have a well, you'll have a future with that, right? If your chemical inputs were to go away. Check County Ag Extension Services and the soil conservation. Yeah, soil conservation, there we go. There we go. John, do you sow slick material differently or have any tips? I started using seatbelt material and have to go, yeah, you have to go slow because that's the case, man. You could put double-sided tape in there down the middle and then sew the sides. Nobody would ever know the tape's in there. Or they make a fabric double-sided tape like that. Don't get stuck on buying stuff specific to application because there's tons of other shit that would work too, right? Find something that will work that costs the least because it's sacrificial. You're never going to see it again. Ordered this multicam 4-inch Velcro before link coming. It probably came from MMI. You ever ask yourself why there's no Cryptech Velcro? Too bad they made it hard for small farms to be sustainable. Well, that's by design. It's because you had old timers who had huge, huge farms, and they would be passed down. Why is the death tax half, right? Why do the kids who have farmed the farm with their father, when the father passes away and the kids get it, they have to pay, and they want to assess the farm at future value, not current value. And then they want to charge you, you have to pay taxes on 50% or more of the current, future, or the future value. That is by design because they want to take away your ability to have that farm, right? They want to give it to the government or sell it to their friends. Loco, right on. You got shipping. That song I couldn't remember a month or so ago was Tomorrow by Sliver Chair. Just thought I'd put it out there, right on. Won't let you post the link. Easy K, do we communicate through Instagram or Facebook? If so, just send me the link if you would. Can you recommend any good ways to combat slugs from eating your vegetables? So I've heard a ton of stuff. Ducks will eat slugs. If you elevate your beds, that kind of negates the issue with slugs. Slugs will not cross copper, so you could put copper down, which is costly, but you probably could put a copper pipe all around the bed. I don't know what kind of, how big your setup is or whatever. Salt, they won't cross salt. You'll see a lot of people say diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth is awesome until it's damp. As soon as it gets damp at night, it doesn't work the next day, right? It just takes away its ability to work correctly. Watch out for people trying to buy water rights. Oh yeah, and when the oil company comes to you and wants to explorationally drill, and you tell them fuck off, they're going to come from the side, and then you're going to get no royalty check, and they're going to do it anyways. Copper tape for slugs. Yeah, you used to be able to get this strapping too. You could get this strapping, this copper 1-inch strapping for strapping up water heaters. And I think it came as 25-foot rolls. It wasn't very expensive. You can still find it at Lowe's and Home Depot. That would probably work too. And it has one large hole and then two small holes, one large hole, two small holes. Warcoat, what up? Unless your name is on the property before your parents die. Are you sure about that, Bang Bang? With my Herefords, I need 5 acres per cow, especially only getting 3 cuttings. Yeah, so you need 5 acres to sustain 1 cow. Shallow pans, cheap beer, slugs crawl in, get drunk, and drown. Interesting. Interesting. If it was just a same amount of water, would they drown in the water? I've actually heard the beer thing before. I just didn't know how that works. They drilled sideways and pumped oil under a guy I know's property, and he sued and won. Huh. Yeah, most of the stuff selling now is not going to come with water rights. You know, they're trading water rights as a commodity on the stock market now. Have you seen all these farmers? And they're like, our wells went dry because this property a half mile down the way is growing all of this grass that's being shipped to Saudi Arabia for horses. Have you seen all that? There's a lot of that. Wrap copper wire around a pencil and make slug concertina wire. You should try this. Wrap copper wire or tubing around a stick several feet tall and put that stick into your growing surface, into your media, foot down. Do 2 beds. You can do it with raised beds, whatever. Do 2 beds. One with it, one without it, side by side, water fertilize the same, see what happens. Katanica is out of stock on a lot. Want to stock up on their clothes soon. So, it's Christmas time. Katanica just ran a special. They just ran a discount. Katanica just moved their buildings, and Katanica has 2 production lines. One's coming out of the Philippines, and one is U.S. labor. Copper tape John's Amazon link. Thank you, Josh. What Josh means by that is I have an Amazon affiliate link, and if you click any of the Amazon links on my website or any of my YouTube videos, it takes you to Amazon. And it might be for whatever I put up there, right? Scotch tape or whatever I was talking about at the time. But once you're there, you can go anywhere on Amazon, and anything you buy in the next 24 hours it takes a couple percentage from your order and gives it to us instead of Amazon. And it's just a way of, hey, I like this guy. I'm on his lives every night at 9 o'clock, and he talks to us about anything we want. And sometimes I learn some stuff. So as a thank you, when I use Amazon, I use John's link, and it gives them, a few pennies off my order. Arizona just revoked Saudi's water rights. Yeah, we start hearing things like that kind of give you hope, right? Texas is trying to get their government to ban aerosol spraying over Texas airspace. So no more cloud seeding and chemtrails. It literally said chemtrails. I've heard of that. China was getting a lot of the hay around the U.S. and California. Yeah, they're buying everything. They're buying rice from... Most of what we produce is actually shipped out of the United States. And you keep hearing about, all the water right, all the gas and all the shit, all the natural gas and oil and everything. Do you know that none of that oil from over there in Ukraine and such comes to us? None of that goes to us. We don't get any of that. We sent a ton of it over there, though. I think they're attracted to the yeast smell. Interesting. Angel, what Cantanica do you have, man? What do you like from them? I seem to have stopped seeing or getting any comments here. Weird. Homestead Medical, thanks for the link to Patreon, bud. So we have a Patreon, and it's $5 a month. You guys jump on there. You ask whatever questions. We post a question thread once a week, and we build a video. Scully and I make a video. If you'd like to see we do kind of the same thing for the membership, John and Amanda. If you'd like to see something else on Patreon, you can ask there as well, and we'll build that info. We'll build another video on Patreon also for you guys. We get 10% for the big guy. Yeah. What they really mean is 10% goes to Ukraine, 90% funnels back. Do you know Zelensky has applied for citizenship? Do you know Zelensky has applied for citizenship in the United States? Do you know he's bought multiple multi-million-dollar estates in the United States? And do you know that they have assigned him Secret Service detail? R.F. Kennedy, who is running for president, has been refused twice Secret Service detail, but Zelensky has a Secret Service detail. Are you aware of this? The Cantanica hoodie, Cody. I have the heavier one. Love it. Absolutely love it. When I saw the price, I thought, yeah, I don't know if I'd buy it for this price. And Amanda got me one for Christmas. Incredible jacket. Love it. Loco, you have a good night, man. Most commercial raised poultry goes to China as well. Yeah, all of our hog farms, like 80% of the hogs produced in the United States, 80% of the big hog farms have been purchased. The big companies that own all of those growers have been purchased by China. Remember when they had all the sausage shortage? That's because in the United States, they cut the hogs up into smaller pieces. China doesn't. China cuts them in half and quarters them, and there is no sausage. They put it, and then they transport them out of the United States. Are you aware of this? Pretty sure all heads of state that come to the U.S. have Secret Service detail. Gotcha. He has applied for Secret Service. Now, the way I understood it is to be here in the United States, he will have Secret Service to be a U.S. resident. China bought Swift, the third biggest pork producer. Yeah, they also bought, what's the other one, Josh? There's another big one. They will soon be laundry about $6 billion again through Ukraine. Yep. Shows how loyal Secret Service agents are. Yeah, there was a Secret Service whistleblower that actually put this out. I was a Series 3 commodities broker once in a lifetime. Back then, we were talking about water as a commodity. Also, you should consider air as well. Crooked for sure. Anyway, look it up. Yeah, Derek, fuck 100%, man. Is cloud seeding just another word for Kim? Yes, kind of. Cloud seeding is the one that you're okay with, right? We need some rain out here. There's been a drought for a year. Let's use cloud seeding. Smithfield, that was the other one. I think it's Smithfield. Trump impeachment was over him looking into Biden dealing in Ukraine, and now name an island owner whose assistant was the daughter of a Mossad agent. Oh, it's even crazier than that. It's even crazier than that. Ghislaine Maxwell, who in her family was on the Board of Education, who in her family owns the main company that writes all the textbooks and rewrites history in the textbooks, sponsors all the colleges with the endowments, and then sells all the textbooks. Who was that? China will own America. China has. Do you know they're building a 60-mile illegal alien town in Texas right now that BlackRock is funding? Have you guys heard of this? There's pictures of it. There's all kinds of helicopter footage of it. Do you know China has an entire fucking town in Idaho with its own laws, right? It falls under China law. Do you know they bring Uyghur Muslims over here as slave labor to work in these places in Idaho? Right? This is the one you know about. Have you heard of this? I gotta get some water out of this filter here. Dr. Seuss, you mean Geisel? You ever see his house? China owns the largest airstrip in the U.S., yes. They also own the Long Beach Naval Shipyard. They own that airstrip in Texas was the biggest military airstrip in the United States. Chinese police stations in New York City. It's not just New York City. There's over 20 of those in the United States. What town is the airstrip? I don't remember, Isaac, but if you Google it, it'll come up. Some lib teacher just swore her oath on a stack of porn-saturated books for kids. Yeah, did you see the guy that tossed the 3 hand grenades into the town council meeting? Supposed to be in Ukraine. Walked in, 3 hand grenades, stood there while they detonated. They said the reports this morning were 1 dead, 37 wounded. It's got to be more dead by now, though. Imagine if imagine if that happened at these fucking school board meetings. Just found IEDs on the border. They find IEDs on the border all the time. Before I left California 20 years ago, Border Patrol was having gunfights on the U.S. side of the border where they were launching fucking Mark 19s and M2s, right? Through MRAPs, armored vehicles and shit, 2-way gunfights with BORTAC and REACT. He did have a follow-up post, okay. Because a lot of the guys in that comment saying that it was Ukraine, there were dudes in the comment that are like, I speak Ukraine, and that's not Ukraine, that's Russian, that language. That investigation, the Chinese police station, someone give me a location of the Chinese town in Idaho, and I'll investigate. Derek, look up Chinese manufacturer of fast food uniforms and clothing. That's where you'll find it. Find that. They make all of the uniforms for almost all of your fast food companies, your major fast food companies in the United States. There's been investigations over this. Like, please do find what you can, but once you start unraveling that thread, you'll find tons of information on it. Like Alex Jones has spoken about it. There's been news reports on it. Even on mainstream media, there was news reports on it, 20 years ago. Western Ukraine, closer to Russia. Hand grenade backstage at drag story time. Do you see they're arresting? They're now arresting reporters who were present reporting on January 6th. Do you know what the next? Do you know what the next step is? They're going to go after YouTube people and influencers who reported on it, who were not even present. Which means if people did start taking the silliness into their own hands, 3 years, 2 years, 5 years from now, they'll come after people who say, man, imagine if people started tossing hand grenades in to school board meetings where they want to have drag queen story hour. They will go after those people. If they're going after the big guys, then they go after the lower guys. They're only 2 or 3 years away from guys like me. Yeah, Owen Schroyer went to jail. They're going after somebody else now. They're going after one of the reporters that was there. From the Idaho Statesman, a Chinese national company is interested in developing a 10,000 to 30,000 acre technology zone for industry retail centers, homes south of Boise. Guys, I don't know F.W. Sykes. This place has been there for over 30 years. Like they've been there for decades. Now what you have there could be what we're talking about, or it could be something in addition to it. We hear you're promoting homeschooling your kids, and that isn't conducive to an equitable society. Absolutely. So our clown food is made by NPCs wearing made in USA uniforms. Great. Yeah, they're made in USA. That was from 2011. Got it. Turns out Chinese manufacturing in Idaho is Garden City. Are they trying to cover up something from January 6th? Well, you know, there's just a giant attack on Rumble, right? Do you know what happened the same day the giant attack on Rumble? There was a ton of fucking video that was put up there from January 6th, which had not been posted anywhere else. Coincidence? Maybe. Chinese plant must be in southern Idaho. We need to secede from lower Idaho. Hand grenade packs in every line. I'm going out of my fucking mind. Dude I met at the shop had a photo with one of the new Chinese assault rifles. Said he was working with the ATF that busted the Chinese police station. Oh, interesting. You know, there's several Chinese police stations. Just like those labs, they said those Chinese labs in California, you know, there are multiples of those, right? They reported on 2 of them several weeks apart. But I have heard also in reporting that there are multiples of them. YouTube and Facebook ads are already targeting the January 6th. Keep up the good streams. Like, subscribe. You guys speak the truth. Guys, listen, we are on Rumble. We have been on Rumble for 6 years. We just people don't use Rumble. But everything we post here loads to Rumble. I'm also on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. Like we're all over the place. I'm also on Gitter. Is Gitter even still there? I have a Gitter account. I have a Locals account. Float. I'm on MeWe. There apparently was no paper trail on the guns, and they were chambered in 5.56. Where there is a few, there is inevitably more. Yeah, if they're in here straight from fucking China, they probably brought containers of them in, right? Not just a couple of them. Any zipper grocery bags on the hook? No, we have tons of regular grocery bags, and I can put a zipper in these regular grocery bags. I have Lots of them. And I have lots of them cut also. Well, the real question is, what color do you want? There are a few, yeah, we have a few videos on Pornhub. Find a good butcher. I can't allow you to eat cheap sirloin. Where are we getting cheap sirloin? Who said that? Trying to pick up a steak at the store did not look glued together. I think I got a real one cheap sirloin. Just eat ribeyes, buddy. Why are you eating sirloin? Do you need me to start a GoFundMe for you? And hey, Dean Mullis, I don't know if you heard me the other night. Man, thank you for the book. Thank you for that package you sent. I appreciate it. I like this citizen rule book. I don't know if we've lost connection or what. Sync. Sedan. What color grocery bag do you prefer, bud? Yeah, maybe we disconnected. That's weird too. There's 74 people on here and only 52 thumbs up. Good news is that this is just the bad news before the good time. I heard something today said anytime they want to ban guns, it's because they're about to do something to you that would make people want to shoot them. Black OD Black or Coyote. Let's go see. I could use a GoFundMe. I work for 48 hours a week, making $20 an hour, installing fire sprinklers, 48 hours a week, 900 check, inflation. My kid just worked. My kid just got a $3,600 paycheck and took home $2,100 of it. I have OD Black, buddy. OD Black grocery bags right there on the hook, ready to go. Punisher, what up? Murdoch, document your shit. Start building an Instagram and a Facebook page off of there. And start telling them how you do your job. Literally teach people how to do your job on the internet. Start building content. And you might find that will transition you eventually to something else. Or it will start your own business off of the content. You're already there doing it. Just start making short videos about it. How durable is the DWR coated ripstop fabric in woodland? I don't have a clue to use it. Not sure the weight. No idea. And what does ripstop even mean, right? Because 420 pack cloth they always called ripstop, but when you look at like the Nyco grid uniform material, that is also called ripstop. I don't know. I know 500 and I know 1,000 really well, but the ripstop stuff, I don't know. I just use pack cloth. It used to be 420. Now everything's called 400. It's slick. It's shiny. I guess you just have to decide, what it is you're making and why you're using the materials. It's super slick, it's shiny, it's loud. But if it's just for fashion, like I've got some pack cloth right here. I don't even know where this came from. And it's just super loud and it's super shiny and it's not really abrasion resistant, as much so as Cordura. Income tax was ruled unconstitutional twice before it became law. Yeah, and there's a lot of people that have gone to court for not paying income tax and have walked right out of there because they said they were within their right. And then there's other people who have gone in there and done massive prison sentences for not paying their taxes. Uncle Sam will always tax us. Good point. Yep. So you worked 48 hours in a week, 20 an hour, 48 hours a week, $900 check. There's something more there, Murdoch. Are they garnishing your wages for something? You took $900 after working a 48-hour week at 20 an hour. So what is that? What should that paycheck have been? How much should you have taken home? There's a plumber in the short video. His job during the day, then makes voiceovers in the evening, has multiple sponsors. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And then you can get affiliate links with tool companies, and every time somebody clicks the link to the tool you're talking about in your video, you get a percentage of that sale. And then you take the items that you use, or this control, or this fitting that you're showing, and you have an Amazon affiliate link to it, and you start with Amazon because they're going to give you 1 to 2%. But with not a whole lot of effort, you can make $1,000 a month on an Amazon affiliate link without putting in a lot of time and effort. And then you can get, as you grow and you get better, the manufacturers will actually reach out to you and give you a much better percentage rate. Ross Hammer, what's up? Yeah, it's all theft. All taxation is theft. And when you say, I'm taxed in this tax bracket, that's just when they give you the money. You're taxed every time you move the money. Every single time you spend money, you are taxed. Why do you think they want to get rid of cash? Because that's the only place they can't tax you, right? If you give your little nephew Timmy $50 for his birthday and you hand him a $50 bill, there's no tax there. But if you do it any other way, if they remove cash, they will be able to tax you when you pay the kid for mowing your lawn and you pay little nephew Timmy $50 for his birthday. You get taxed every single time money moves. First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women. Well, at least they use that money for good stuff like sex change in the military. You know, none of those people getting the sex changes can pass the psych evaluation on the review. All they're doing, those people come in, eat up resources, and then are put out of the military. There is not a career tranny in the military. They're desperate to shore up the debt. That's why they need another 20-year war. They need big business, and the war hawks pushing it are invested in Teledyne and Raytheon and Black and Root and General Dynamics, right? They need to build military vessels to make money. Little Timmy needs peace, hates silver, dimes, and quarters. Yep. So speaking of silver, dimes, and quarters, do you have a gold shop or a coin shop you like to do business with? Have you ever bought any silver bars? You ever bought any, 90% silver or any of that? They are closing down those guys' abilities to bank. Thousands and thousands of those coin shop owners have made YouTube videos saying that they received a certified letter that they had to sign for from their bank saying they had 30 days to remove their funds. And some of those people, bank accounts were closed, and they just mailed them a check and said, you are no longer welcome. You're no longer a customer at our bank. And not only did they close their business account, they closed their personal accounts also. It is $25 an hour job. Boss's son makes 26. You should see the wood jack ladders I climb. Well, Murdoch, it sounds like you should go work somewhere else, man. It sounds like you should go start your own company. If you can do that, you can do handyman shit. And if you're white, put in less hours and go start working on a side job and develop your side job into something else. You need to be your own boss. Now, most people that complain about their jobs won't go start their own businesses. And they will find out that a lot of the complaints they had about the company they worked for, they will have a much better understanding the first year they themselves are in business. I don't say that as, well, if you think the grass is greener. I say that as you should go start your own business. If you're working 48 hours, what'd you say you worked 48? You got the weekend. Go fucking start some side jobs, man. Nobody can get people to show up and work. Nobody. Pipe wrenches, I don't mind pulling. It's the people. Yeah, I get it. 49, have to work tomorrow. Have to? What happens if you don't work tomorrow? Hey, I'm going to give you my 40. I'm doing something else on the weekends. What happens when that happens? Hate when people say you need to be certified. It's a barrier to entry for most. Yeah. Start talking about ham radios on the internet and see what happens. Yeah, war is good for business. The problem is he's making $20 an hour doing $25 an hour job. 48 hours, $9.60, and you should be trying 60 a week. He just needs to go somewhere else. If he's worth having, right? A lot of people think that they're worth more. Like you have this perception that you should be making so much an hour. That only exists if you can go someplace and work that, right? If I say every time I sit on this sewing machine, I'm worth $100 an hour. I can say that all I fucking want. But if I can't actually sit here and build something that sells for $100 an hour, then I'm not worth $100 an hour, right? And as an employee, if they're like, I'm worth $100 an hour, well, they're not fucking, they don't own the software, they didn't buy the materials, they don't have the fucking shipping program, they don't have the insurance, they don't have all the shit, right? So am I really worth $100 an hour because I didn't account for all that other shit? Also, they're going to mandate Saturdays if people don't start coming in on Saturdays. $10,000 less than usual this year. That's everywhere, man. And right, while everybody's complaining about the cost, not you guys, but everybody knows everything costs more, right? Every employee's like, my God, times are hard. My boss makes all this money. They should give us more money. These rolls of thread were $13 a few years ago. They're $25 now. These rolls of material, the most expensive material we had pre-COVID was $11 a yard. This shit's almost doubled in price. The fuel's doubled in price. You order it. They used to ship it out the same next day. They would ship out. They ship stuff. Now we order shit and they're like, we're not going to have that for 6 months. Every fucking thing costs more. My fucking electric bill has gone up $1,000 in the last couple of years. Everything costs more. Get Guinness Book of World Records to certify your shot. I get more views in a day than they sell books in a year. I'd be certifying them. Oh, that's awesome, man. Good comment. Everything that's because of diesel costs. Employees and customers usually don't understand the overhead of running a business. Absolutely not. Your employees don't realize that when they get a check, you send more money for every dollar you gave them to a government agency also. Yeah, people don't look at what the boss has. I live in this building. Like I moved out of our house. We moved out of our house. We live here. Like when I say I'm at work 24 hours a day, I live here. And this isn't I don't think it's my employees. Like I haven't had an employee that's had these conversations in a long time, at least not that I've heard. Like I pay my employees well. We have employees that we would pay more money if they'd show up to work. Like when I gave a girl a $2 an hour raise. I'm like, I'm going to give you a $2 an hour raise. You have to be here 40 hours. On the days Because there's always a day she hasn't worked 40 hours fucking ever since we let her come back. She has worked and quit and worked and quit and worked and been fired. She's worked for me probably 11 times. And I gave her a raise, $2 an hour raise. And I said, I'm going to give you a $2 an hour raise. You have to have 40 hours. If you make 39 hours, you're going back to your original rate of pay. I'm going to give you a raise contingent on you make 40 hours. Now, you miss a day, whatever, that door opens at 7 o'clock and that door closes at 8 o'clock. You can make the time up. And the truth is, if she even made an effort to make the time up, I'd still put her at the other pay rate. She hasn't made the new pay rate ever. She's been at the elevated rate for over 3 months. Every week, misses a day. And it's always the same excuse. It's literally like she copy and paste the text message. I got like 12 to 15 bucks for 8 to 10 ounces of food. You can get paid. Find your hustle. Yep. Life's been different since 2020. It has. Yeah, I think it has. I know people that have made a ton of money since fucking 2020. You just have to identify people's needs or wants. In Florida, all condos, schools, old folks' home have to be covered, even boat storage marinas. What do we talk? Covered with what? What are we talking? Your Star Wars collection is only... Yeah, everybody's got a Lego collection, right? I've got this Lego collection that's worth $100,000. Yeager used to say this. You know what I've never seen? I've never seen somebody that has $100,000 and like, I sold my Lego collection. They're going to mandate... Yeah. Why is it a candy shop for vets? Why vets? Why not just a candy shop for free Americans? Free, God-given right Americans. We make nylon tactical gear. Been doing it 35 years. This building is in Camden, Tennessee. I hire white. Well, they just happen to be white. I hire U.S. citizens. I hire born here. Actually, I don't even give a fuck if they're born here. I hire U.S. citizens. Everything is manufactured here. Everything is cut here. Everything is sewn here. We just build everything right here in the United States. We use as much U.S. manufactured goods and raw goods as possible, and we ship everything direct to the consumer. Nephews. I had 80 gallons of Legos I just gave away. A lot of companies drop full-time employees to part-time if they don't meet a certain amount of hours for the year. Get rid of the headache and scheduling them. Well, professional in class, I have 52 sewing machines. I've never seen 20 of them run in this county. So we take the people who always are missing one day out of the week, and I look at it as everything they do is something we don't have to do. Believe me, when we ramp up and scale up, we will always get rid of the couple of problematic people. It ebbs and flows all the time. But I don't have gear sitting here trying to hope that I can sell this shit. It all sells. My bottleneck is manufacturing. I have double these machines that I can put on the floor. I have payroll. I have everything. What I don't have is the bodies that are skilled in running the machines. Height, mount, what, Conte? Klingman's Dome. Right, oh, right on, man. Right on. Miss working so much. I have had a job since 13. Yeah, I started working at 13 too. At McDonald's. Rode a bus, transferred twice, 90 minutes to get to McDonald's. Legal job. You used to be able to work at 13 in California. Met a guy, 35 sheet rocker commercial, 15 don't show everything. Met a guy with 35 sheet rockers commercial. I don't know what that means. Oh, he has 35 people hanging sheetrock. 15 don't show it. Got it, got it. Roofers, rockers. So, contractors here, right? Contracting companies, build out, construction. When we built this building out, it was almost 7 years ago. And there were really 2 companies in town that you wanted. And we ended up picking one. The build out should have taken 6 months. They fucked around on it for 12 months. There was always some shenanigans and shit. Fast forward to now, all these people sold houses in California and New York. I use that as an example because that's the 2 extremes, right? They took a house that was $400,000. It overvalued it $1.5 million. They cashed out $1.5 million. Bought a truck and a trailer, came out here and bought, 100 acres of property out here. This county is the most impoverished county in all of Tennessee, or it was a year ago. Property value was low. So they'd buy 100 acres of property and they'd get with the few contractors and they're like, okay, I'm ready to build my McMansion. When can we start? And they're like, yep, we can do it. Love to take the project. We can start in 5 years. That's what happens here. There is just if you're organized and you got your shit together, you could come out here and make a killing. I've got a ton of people that have moved here from California. My buddy Jeff got out of the Marine Corps, moved here a few years ago, 17 acres of property. His whole entire fucking sniper platoon almost has moved out here. All the 8541s moved out here. There's a bunch of soft guys. There's a bunch of dudes that have moved here. Jeff brings a crew of dudes in from fucking San Diego. They fly them out of California, put them in a hotel for 30 days, and have them do projects out here on our friends' properties. We can't even get a local company to do the work. And the quality is very different. D5 dozer is close to 400 grand. A combine now is almost $1 million. Yeah, I say that all the time. People are enamored with Ferraris and Lamborghinis when you see them on the freeway, right? And I'm like, shit. You want to see some money? Look at a fucking farmer. Look at those fucking rigs. Look at just the tires on the big tractors, right? You really want to see some money? Look at that pile of gravel, that riprap sitting on the side of the fucking interstate, just sitting there for somebody to come up and load it with a skid loader or a front end loader and put it in a dump truck. We have this idea that these things cost all this money, and they do, right? Porsche, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Bugatti, whatever. That ain't shit. That's not shit compared to buying concrete. 40 by 60 metal building, radiant floor, nice. I got my friends putting radiant floors in his big building right now that they just poured the slabs in. Stopped renting, was during COVID. Me and my brother, dad, didn't do the cement work, flat work, monopore, everything else. Nice. That's fucking awesome, dude. I've got 5,000 feet of concrete that needs to go out here. I have a 5,000 square foot addition to this building sitting out there on the ground right now. Murdoch 89, 400 grand is cheap for a ladder truck. So I don't know why we're talking about equipment like that, but guys can go to auctions. They have huge fucking auctions. Texas, Oklahoma. There's one here in Nashville, East Tennessee, well, outside of Nashville, a little ways east. Huge, like big auctions. The Diesel brothers started their whole entire empire renting a mini excavator, tearing out some block walls and building some block. They didn't even know how to do block. It just starts with equipment. If you can come up with 10, 20,000 down, you can go buy a skid steer from Kubota, and then your payment's going to be about $1,000 a month. But I don't have $1,000. Well, you can make $1,000 in a day on the weekend. Just rent out your service and then rent a Mini X as you need it. Show up with a Mini X and a fucking skid steer and clear property, move dirt, take dirt away from people, and then sell it to people that need fill dirt. Like, just be the guy. You're going to run ragged. You're going to have to learn how to maintain those machines. But if you have equipment, man, you can always make money. And it's a force multiplier. You're not fucking wearing your body out as much as if you were doing it yourself. Sister lives in Tennessee, loves it. We love it, man. Absolutely love it. Russian friend had an LMTV, shut every redneck truck down around Southwest Fit. I'm not following you. He had an LMTV, shut every redneck truck down. I don't know what you mean. Round bale cotton pickers are about 800,000 each. Yeah, my buddy just grew a bunch of cotton, and then a company came in, and all of their trucks that they hauled those rolls away with, they were fully detailed and waxed. This equipment they brought in to harvest the cotton and the rollers and all the shit, it looked like it had never been used. Like, they actually cleaned that shit up before they show up at another farm. We went out and did a bunch of drone work over there. Till the zombies come, then no one cares about film. That's exactly how I'm thinking about camera equipment right now. Pretty sure at this point I'll always be able to make money with it. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. It's a huge military surplus truck, around 10 grand. Yeah, I know what an LMTV is. There's one for sale right up the road, set up as a wrecker for 15 grand. It's got a Caterpillar motor in it. It's badass. But what do you mean he shut down every redneck truck? I don't know what that means. I know what an LMTV is. I'm well aware. I'm asking about the other half. I don't understand what you mean he shut down everybody. Like, he was just he had a better truck, so he was able to take their business, or what do you mean? $36 a ton for ABC crush and run. Handyman rule the world. I'm in Las Vegas. People next door sold the family from California. The family was in the house for a year and sold to move further east. They made money. Yep. Wait for the flood of homeowners associations in the coming years. Well, that's what they try to do, right? You'll be in the middle of nowhere, and then they'll do some 4-lane road project, right? That's going to allow more traffic into those towns, those cities. And then those cities are going to get more tax revenue, and then they're going to want to annex the county and bring you under their umbrella. Right now, as I said, I have no codes, no zoning. Nobody has to come out. Nobody can come out and inspect shit that we do. They don't like that. It's all part of the Agenda 21. It literally, and when people say that aren't aware of it or know what Agenda 21 is, they think it's tinfoil hat. Every single piece that they had in Agenda 21 has come to pass. It's just like your homeland security guys, right? Every law enforcement department has a homeland security liaison. Who is that person? It's not your God-fearing, gun-loving, loving America person. It's the most liberal person on the department. It's the guy that voted for Obama. It's the person that calls Trump Trump-tard and hates MAGA. That's always the liaison to Homeland Security on every police department. And if you haven't heard of this and you know a cop, ask them who their Homeland Security liaison is. It's the same way with your codes and your zoning. Like, you need to be going to your city council meetings because there's some shit going on that you have no idea what's going on. And if you'll hear it with your own ears, and you will tell somebody, and they'll be like, there's no way they're trying to do that. I-75, Sarasota, has diverging diamond. It's a $60 million project. Imagine being the concrete supplier. Oh, fuck yeah. How can somebody reduce taxes if you don't have a business? 114 pre-tax last year, but only took home 85. Yeah, you gotta start a business. You have to start a business. You know how you turn Democrats into Republicans? Get them to take a hobby and start taking money for it. Start a business. Yeah, read the UN Charter. Not only the UN Charter. Do you know what Event 201 is? The World Economic Forums? WEF, Davos, right? Everybody's heard of that. Do you know what Event 201 is? In 2018, they did a simulated war game program where a virus broke out around the world, right? The crazy thing is, you can see Event 201. They publish it. There's a video of the Event 201. Everything they did in Event 201 happened in 2019, and the virus was called COVID-19. Are you aware of this? Do you know they just did another Event 201 last year? It's called Cyber Polygon. Cyber Polygon said that there's going to, in the near future, be another virus outbreak that's going to target and affect children. And the biggest concern to the governing bodies is how they control dissent and disinformation on social media. Right? They built all the COVID camps. You know, there's COVID camps and encampments and homeless camps and shit. You know, have you seen all these aerial views of all these camps they built, just like the 5G towers? Do you know how many 5G towers there are now? Do you know how many cell towers? Have you guys, like when you look out your door, do you see, you know how you used to see a cell tower? Or when you were in a park, someplace you frequent, right? There was a cell tower. But now there's like 7, 8, 10 of them, all within, you know, just turning your head left and right. You see cell towers everywhere. And if you haven't, you should look because they're there. And it's like that. There are camps that they've built, right? Remember when everybody used to talk of the FEMA camps? Do you know they have these big, huge military base size camps? Do you know that they're actually occupied, a lot of them right now? Do you know they've taken a lot of these immigrants to military bases and you don't know where they've gone? You don't know what they've done with them. You don't know what they're doing with them. Have you heard about all the military training that was supposed to have been happening right across the border in Mexico? And they were training up Chinese and Nigerian soldiers. Have you heard about this? And then they let them into the United States. Anybody heard about this? They had to put like 8 times the number of towers to support 5G. I'm well aware of what they say. I'm well aware of it. Have you turned on a radio frequency meter? The rural internment bill. From what I understand, it is a win-win since the employer can avoid paying into unemployment and benefits. Yeah, fake palm trees. They don't even do that here. They were doing fake palm trees in San Diego 20 years ago. Now they are simulating the cyber event. Yes, did you guys hear that there was, last week, there was massive attacks around the world on water treatment, municipal infrastructure from Iran. That was last week. This week, there is massive cyber attacks on major infrastructures within the United States from the CCP hacker groups, the Chinese military party hacker groups, right? And they tried to shut down the power grid in Texas. Are you guys aware that there's a full power plant that's like engulfed in flames and billowing smoke in New York right now? That happened this afternoon. I haven't heard whether they got it out or not. Yeah, power outage across New York. They've been targeting New York a lot, apparently. What better time for all those combat age males to stand up in New York? Tons of these shipping facilities are outfitted with complete communities in mind. all along 10, 210, 15, many leading up to Las Vegas are built in this fashion. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm aware of it. I heard today, who did I hear this from? Where did I see this? 37 states in the United States each have a population lower than the amount of illegal aliens they have brought into the United States in the last 36 months. They've brought more people in than the population of 37 of these states, not combined, but individually. Seeing strange antenna type things being put up. They almost look temporary. Yeah, power outage across New York. So before I got on here, they said, I always say they. I saw some content saying that there are major solar storms happening and communications have gone down around the United States. Several, and they didn't say what communications or to what scale. And I immediately thought, well, all of my social media is working. And they said that what we were hit with today, the brunt of it, the worst part of it, is supposed to hit the Earth in 2 days. Now, will that happen? Probably not. But they always telegraph the punch, right? All these movies coming out about EMP and shutting down the grid, and we're constantly been told over the last 60, 90 days, there's attacks on the United States. If something like that happened, would you put it past your government to amplify the problem, right? All government wants is more power. They want to take your rights to control the masses more, right? So what I would tell you is turn your power off. Go to your circuit breaker, turn that thing off, and just go for 24 hours and keep some notes, right? Surely you all have a flashlight in your pocket, right? Surely you have a flashlight in your pocket, just like you have a knife, you have a firearm, right? You have a tourniquet with you right now. So you can use that flashlight to get to something with batteries and something more, right? You've got some lanterns, right? Turn those on, stage them on low. Those LEDs will run for 90 days on low. If you live in, a tower building or someplace where you can't get sunlight, right? And then just figure out what you're going to do. All the shit you have, what did you think you would really need that you didn't use? And what do you wish you had that you didn't have, right? Do you have the ability? Do you have 4,000 batteries? Are they lithium? If you do, great. Do you have some rechargeables, right? Have you ever used those rechargeables? Are they sitting charged? Do you have a solar panel? Do you have battery packs, big battery packs that can charge small battery packs so they are more portable, right? Just have those conversations in your head, right? Is it winter? How do you produce heat? Well, I have a natural gas heater, John. Right. Does the blower rely on electricity? If it does, will your heater even come on if the blower doesn't function? Those are the questions and the games that you need to play, right? And you can do it with the kids. Power's out, we're going to set up this tent. We're going to make a fort out of blankets, and we're going to sleep in the living room. Because if the power truly went out and it really was cold, we're not going to heat the house, we're going to heat a room in the house. We are all going to pull into a confined, smaller area. We're going to put mattresses side by side, and we're going to heat one room. We're not going to heat all of the rooms, right? Those are the games you need to play. Take all the batteries in from the truck in the winter. Milwaukee. Good Milwaukee. Oh, you live in Milwaukee, or Milwaukee Tool said that? Yeah, and batteries, when it's cold, take them out of your pack and put them against your body. You'll get more juice out of them when it's cold. Absolutely. And then those batteries, right? Do we have a means to charge them? Do we have solar to charge them off of? Solar panels, foldable solar, larger scale solar. Backups for your backups, that's right. I want you to have 3 of everything, right? I want you to have a shitload of fresh water in containers. I want you to have bulk water that you can filter and put in smaller containers. I want you to have a source to store those. I want you to have your downspouts going into bulk containers. I want you to have a means to catch water coming off of a slope into a pond. I want you to have a super deep pond, like a retention basin, right? Stuff like that. You don't have to do all of that in one day. You don't think you can stand 3 miles? Yeah, that's not what I meant. 5-year supply of Diet Pepsi. Do you drink Diet Pepsi, Big Usa? Just realizing that the place I keep a bunch of my preps has an electric gate. Well, does it have an armed gunman? Most electric gates you can drive, you know that. With a truck, you can drive right through a chain link fence. Come right up where the pole is, nose up on that thing, bend it over. It's going to bend 45 degrees crease. It's going to stay down. When you go out, it might be up a little bit, so you might need to egress out over a different pole and a different, 20 feet down the line. Not this one. Going to have to go through the fence. Buy 7 cheap handheld solar lights. Keep them in your window. Yeah, those garden lights are good, guys, and they're not even expensive. And some of the bigger ones actually fucking project a spotlight up on trees and shit. Guys, if you're on here, follow Overton Windex. He's got a great YouTube channel. Give him a follow. Tons of entertainment. You'll pick up a lot of shit. That's a smart dude. Legitimately follow Overton Windex. You will enjoy it. Homestead Medical's got a YouTube channel. Follow Homestead Medical. Might save your life one day. He comes to our events, teaches stuff here. Chuck Peoples is a friend of mine. Know him in real life. I would tell you to follow Josh Winnie, but he's just got weird pictures of people's feet. They're not even his own feet. You want to hear of Plum Island? Yeah, everybody's heard of Plum Island. Yeah, Lyme disease, made by the Nazi scientists, the Nazis. Yeah, there's some other Lyme diseases. There's some other diseases out there too, tick-borne, that are said to be made by human, right? What's that one that you get bit by a tick and all of a sudden you're allergic to protein? What a miserable life. Could you imagine having to be a vegan? I need a gas stove for hot water, for bird baths, and batteries for the fan, so I can sleep. Amanda, you remember we actually bought those 12-inch fans. What was that really cool, like backpacking, camping, battery-powered fan? I think we bought like 12 of those things where did we buy those? Some of them are even OD Green. They're pretty cool looking. They run on AAAs, and the bigger ones I think run on like D batteries, and we bought them at Sports Academy. Can make you allergic to red meat. It's funny what Windex said. You can't go through the gate, but you can go through the fence. Kind of like those boxes you can't open from the top, but you can from easy. Well, like most safes, you can come right through the back of them, but most of them are so heavy or bolted to the concrete that you can't slide them easily off the floor because they're bolted in with 4 bolts that are chemically anchored into a slab, right? It's like a race trailer. I've got a 24-foot Wells Cargo box, right? The locks on it are like $150. They're these huge pucks. They're very difficult to get through. You can take a screwdriver and punch a hole right through the skin of the trailer, though. Alpha gal, that's it. Friend's wife has that. She can't eat red meat, right? So she has to eat poultry. But what she found is she loves eating ostrich because it's more like red meat. What's the best way to store water long term in those plastic camping? So Tony, there's several answers to that question. Let's go over here and I'll show you how I would start, how I did start. Okay, these right here, you can buy these for $45 or so. I can drive over this with my truck. They're super durable. This is 7 gallons. You can buy these for about 20 bucks, 25 bucks. They come from Walmart. For some reason, they made 2 versions of them. They made this version here that had this screw vent, screw top, and then they made one that had a stupid pin. The pin always leaked. These come with this nozzle. So when you set these on your countertop, you open this and the water runs, and you close it and the water stops running. Over time, mostly from sunlight, if these are out in sun, these will start to so extra sets of replacement parts for those. Here's one that you can see it cracked right here. I keep all the extra parts. When these things fail, I unscrew and keep all the extra parts for these. You can see there's a gasket in there. There's a little rubber gasket. This one here is cracked right here. I don't care. This is mostly for flushing toilets if we need to, or washing dishes or whatever, right? If you stack them too high, there's usually not an issue with these. When you stack them 3 high, this one's empty. When you stack them 3 high, that's what happens. Now, if you carry these around in a truck and they're not tied down in the bed of a truck or a trailer and they're sliding around, this will happen. These are super durable. These are not as convenient as these. Now keep in mind, you said, how do you store water? Is this in your basement and your wife or your daughter or your young child has to carry this upstairs? These are way easier than moving a 15-gallon drum. Now, 55-gallon drums, like the blue 55-gallon drums, you can put 55 gallons of water. You can get those that are 13 gallons that look just like the 55s. Typically, it is soda, syrup, and liquids like molasses and stuff that come in them for the food industry and for soda machines and such. 15 gallons, you could, in a pinch, if you had to move it, you could move it. You could put it on a dollar, hug it. Your wife is probably not. Now let's open this door. If this dies, it'll come on when I come back in here in a second. Okay, are we back on? I don't know what the last thing you saw. Did you see those drums over there when I opened the door? Those were 55-gallon drums. These are IBC totes. They're 275 to 300, 350 gallons. The more gallons the container carries, typically the less cost per gallon to store the water. So you can get an 8-around 1,000-gallon water tank, or you can get a 4,000-gallon or 5,000-gallon. They're all 8 feet around. They take the same footprint. They just go up in height. Per gallon, it is cheaper to store 2,500 gallons than 1,000. Now, with that said, you can go and just look up tank, water tank, stock tank. I would just search tank on Marketplace, and you will find somebody near you selling water tanks. Look up 55-gallon drum, look up IBC tote, and that's how you go from there. Just typing Overton and manual hand pump. Yeah, manual hand pump, bowl pump, bilge pump is even okay. Super siphon, electric pump, and have multiples, right? It'd be nice to have an electric pump. Use that until it doesn't work anymore for some reason. But have a backup to your backup and have a backup for that. The back, you didn't see the, okay, well there's like 20 55-gallon drums over there. I've got about 40 IBC totes. I've got some 1,000-gallon tanks. I've got some 1,500-gallon tanks. The heavier the water is, I keep a bike trailer if I ever need to bike the spring because lack of fuel. Yep, yep. You can move a 50. You can move a 5-gallon Sparklets bottle also, really easily in one of those off-road strollers, those Bob strollers. Agriculture supply store have all kinds of water tanks and sizes. Yep, that's what you're looking for. So you can find a ton of that on Marketplace. I got some new ones coming out. Right on, Mark. Mark, I ain't seen you in a year. Where the fuck you been? Looks like your business is doing well. That's awesome. Those are conveniently threaded for 3/4 PVC fittings. Lone Star Tick is on Cape Cod, and Nantucket Martha Vineyard, meat allergies. Water is heavy. If you need to move it, 5 gallons, stationary, 1,500-gallon tanks. Yep. 2 minutes, you could probably pop the hinges right off your trailer door. Fuck yeah, yeah. If you live in an apartment, always keep enough 2x4s to board up your doors. If you live in a house, do that. Shit, just storm, man. Have some sheets of plywood someplace. Keep some sheets of plywood, some 2x4s. And then if we're gonna bolt things up also, where are we lag bolting that in, right? Is it hitting stucco? Is it hitting frame? Wouldn't it be nice if you could, if the damage is already done and we're gonna board that shit up, let's run it all the way through the fucking wall, put a 2x4 in there, and then have some fucking washers, right? So that it's not just that piece. There's no way they're gonna pry that plywood off from the outside. They have that whole board comes across on the inside, right? Authentic Mexican restaurants tend to have empty 5-gallon jugs. Yeah, soy sauce. Any place that has soy sauce, it comes in 5-gallon buckets. It's a little oily. You're gonna have, I wouldn't want to store water in there, but you can use buckets for all kinds of shit. You can degrease them with Dawn and stuff. Pickle barrels are great. The bigger pickle barrels, they do this hard brown plastic 55-gallon drum that has a screw on top, like a thread-on big opening. And then they make smaller pickle barrels also. There's all kinds of stuff. If you just look up drum and you look up tank on Marketplace, you will find a ton of shit out there. I can move a 13-gallon drum, but not a 55. Yeah, and we can roll them and stuff. And like for the dude that's like, man, I can move a 55-gallon drum with a drum dolly. Yeah, absolutely you can. Not on fucking gravel though. You know when dimensional lumber costs less? When you don't fucking need it. Buy it up. There's all kinds of construction projects on Marketplace. You will see all kinds of guys selling 2x4s, 4x4s, 8x8s. You'll find all kinds of shit. And when you see the guys like, we just finished this is the stuff left over. They're selling it off cheaper typically than you can buy it at a box store for. Buy it up as you don't need it. Do you need to treat the water with bleach? Not typically. Where did the water come from? Right? The water came out of your faucet. If you're on city water, it's all chlorinated. You're going to put it in a container that is going to be airtight. You don't typically need to chlorinate it. But water goes stale. Yeah, the taste will change a little bit. I ain't worried about it. If you're really worried about it, filter your water before you drink it. Yeah, the movie Purge, yeah. I think it'd be badass to have like some actual steel roll down shutter type stuff. But I mean, you can get through those. Those aren't hard to go through. It's loud to go through. And the dude on the outside trying to break through that motherfucker, bullets go through that shit real easy. Yeah, stale water versus no water. And that 7 gallons a day, right? You'll hear all kinds of shit like, you need a gallon of water a day. Yeah, not comfortably. You averagely, I mean, stop and think about, take a 1 gallon pitcher when you go in the shower, time how long it takes it to fill up, right? That's how long it takes that's the time for 1 gallon. Take your shower as you normally take your shower. How many minutes were you in there? Multiply it by whatever that time is, right? Multiply the time you're in there, divide it by however long it took. That's how much water you use just taking a shower, right? How much do you drink every day, right? Well, I don't drink water. I drink coffee and I drink soda and I drink milk and I drink all this shit, right? When you don't have that shit, how much liquid are you going to put in your body? Where is it coming from? Yeah, 3 to 5 gallons to flush. You can also put a brick in your toilet, which in the tank. You can get low volume. You can do all kinds of shit, right? You can also piss till that bowl fills up and then flush that, right? You can piss outside and you can use the toilet just to shit in. You can also have the conversation now and try it out on a, this weekend and get used to it. I have 2 outhouses here on the property. They have composting toilets. There's a 5-gallon bucket in there. You sit down on a real toilet seat. There's a 5-gallon bucket underneath, and you can put a bag that you tie up or whatever. We just use wood chips. There's a bale of wood chips there. You poop in there. You put the wood chips in there. Eventually, it's going to top off. You're going to take that. You're going to bury it. You're going to put it in a dumpster. You're going to do whatever you're going to do with it. A human manure pile. Whatever it is you're going to do. But you don't pee in there, or you try not to, right? You pee as little in there as possible. That's just poop and wood chips. Is it safe structurally to remove the Velcro from the back of the large mesh pocket? Good question. Good question. I'm going to say yes, Overton, because that's sewn on last. Worst case scenario, worst case, if you cut that Velcro off the back, you might free the Velcro inside the panel, right? But it should be sewn with the Velcro inside the panel first, so that when you free the outside, the inside is still sewn in place. Tim, what up? Bidet uses 1/8 of a gallon. Get a couple of sets in. Rowdy, we'll sit down and we'll do a podcast now. I drink at minimum 6 32-ounce Nalgene's plus coffee, other stuff. Coffee, right? You're going to be amazed. I know you guys aren't going to be, but go talk to your normal friends, right? Normal people, and ask them where their coffee comes from. Without electricity, most of them can't make coffee. Think about that. Most people, I'm not saying you people, most people have never fucking been camping. Most people's idea of camping is an Airbnb fucking cabin somewhere that's stocked. Yeah, you can make alcohol. Is storing alcohol good? I have some. I have quite the alcohol collection. If we had to leave here in a hurry, the alcohol is not coming. Although when I travel, I do take a bar with me. I do take some alcohol. I'm getting a low battery thing. I think I have 5% left. So if this dies, holy shit, this Velcro. So they should not be sewing this on and then the other. When you have Velcro and you're sewing through Velcro, hook Velcro on the bottom, it's a pain in the ass. No, they sure as shit are, aren't they? Overton, if you cut that Velcro off, you're going to lose the Velcro on the inside. I don't know who the fuck's building it this way, but that's the deal. They are building these backwards because it's a little less stitching for them, which to me is... All right, are we on or off? I don't know. I don't know why it's dropping. Son worked at Jimmy John's sandwiches. Yeah, home. Oh yeah, buckets. Yeah, yeah. Firehouse has them. Walmart has them too. Some Walmarts out of the bakery sell them for $2 a piece or something, which is still worth it. Can you freeze dry dark? No, you can't freeze dry chocolate. It's too high in fat. You're back. Okay. Overton, the Velcro is sewn opposite. If you cut that Velcro off the back, it's going to loose the Velcro on the inside. Maybe you care, maybe you don't. It should not be sewn that way. They're doing it because it's a little less stitching, but it actually is more difficult to sew through hook Velcro on the downside like that. Somebody said Molotov cocktail. Listen, guys, Molotov cocktail, for your knowledge, if you make a Molotov cocktail and you make a video of yourself throwing a Molotov cocktail, that is considered a destructive device and you open yourself up to federal charges. I'm not telling you don't do it. I'm not telling you don't know the capabilities of it, right? I'm telling you do not document it and put it out publicly that you have made a Molotov cocktail. Who told me this? Doesn't matter who told me. They are destructive device manufacturers and machine gun manufacturers who told me this. You have to pay because they actually do this on movie sets, right? Fucking $200 tax stamp. $30-foot trailer or RV with everything in. Yeah, exactly. Gonna start buying bottom shelf liquor at stores. So Tim, if you're doing that to store, buy it in glass bottles. How long will it stay in the plastic bottles? I don't know. But when we moved in here, there was a chemical cabinet in here, and when you would go to pick up plastic bottles, it would just crack. I've even had fuel cans that when you pick them up that have been old, they're brittle. They just break. Glass does not do that. And if you ask the liquor store, right, when you want to buy that, they make a 99-cent bottles, they make $2 bottles, they make like a $3 bottle, right? They make these different sizes of minis. If you ask them, most of your liquor stores will order a whole flat. Tell them, hey, I want these, I just want to have these. I don't want them all loose. Can I just buy a flat of them? Because the flat will come plastic wrapped, so it'll be one unit, like when you buy shit at Costco and stuff. If you ask your liquor store, they typically will have them in the back or will order them for you. Yeah, for trade. That's what I'm talking about, man. Same with cigarettes, guys. Tobacco goes bad. When the motherfucker wants some tobacco and he ain't got none, he's not going to give a shit if it's stale, just like coffee. If you're going to store coffee, there are still, it's not like it used to be. You used to buy coffee in cans and they were metal cans. Next time you're at Sam's Club, Walmart, any of the places where they got coffee, number 10 cans. Most of that shit is plastic or it is an aluminized cardboard. Rodents can chew through that. The metal cans they'll stay intact and you can still find them. Walmart, Costco, Sam's Club still sells one brand, their brand. It's in a metal can. Buy that up, start getting that if you want it. If you're going to store beans, you might as well store beans and not ground coffee, right? The stuff in the cans is going to be ground. We don't care. It's air sealed. If you're going to store beans, store beans. If you really want to store an indefinite amount of time, order green beans and roast them in batches as you want to use them. Again, when somebody doesn't have coffee, they're not going to give two shits if it's stale. Cheap-ass coffee still comes in metal cans with plastic lid. Right, but the metal can with the plastic lid had a metal sealing until you peeled it back or opened it. Plastic bottles absorb chemicals and leach into contents. You can trade booty. I always say that, man. Every time somebody's boo-hooing about not having any money, I'm like, you got a vagina. Oldest trade in the world. If I had a vagina, and I'm just saying. Store tobacco like you would weed to keep it fresh. No idea about that. I would assume it's like storing tobacco for cigars, though. Man, I wish I had tried the instant coffee from the dollar store before I bought 100. Well, then it's not for you, Easy K. It's for, I'm not eating rice and wheat. Well, I'll eat some wheat, right, because of bread, but I ain't eating all this rice. That's not for me. Why OnlyFans women are making children. I'm getting pigeons. Great success. You can remove hook Velcro from the back of large mesh insert bag. Large mesh insert. Oh, I thought you were moving it off a micro. I thought you were pulling it off a micro. Bic lighters, yeah. And guys, you can buy Bic lighters. They come like the store display, the store tray. They're 50. And typically when you buy them, they'll even come with 4 extra free ones. You can buy generic lighters. The Bic lighters last way longer than the generic lighters do. Nope, mesh bag, got it. Got it. I make the ones with pals on them. The pals ones don't catch on stuff like the Velcro, but it gives you those slots where you can put pins, pencils, chem lights, anything, you know, cylindrical, small diameter. I've been popping the safety springs out of Bics. Well, we always have. It'll fuck your finger up, especially like we get guys that come in here to work and we'll hand them a lighter. We've had people come here to work that literally cannot work a lighter. Like have not a fucking clue. But you give a new guy a lighter who doesn't, you know, light a lighter fucking hundreds of times a day, and second, third day he's working, he's just got a wound, you know. The key to that is when you start using that lighter a lot and you're not used to it, put some super glue right there. But pull that safety out. It helps immensely. We just use a tiny little flat-bladed screwdriver. We pull them out. Also, make sure when you pull them out, they go in the trash if you ever walk around your shop barefoot. Those things will cookie cutter right in to the bottom of your foot. Yeah, they'll tear your thumbs up, man. And you know that being in a machine. My clip and clean guys on the table, they're clipping and cleaning 1,000 pieces of gear a day with multiple strings. They're literally working that lighter thousands of times. We work the lighter so much that we'll have 5 or 6 lighters sitting there because they get too hot. Don't be an average. Josh doesn't do anything average. How many cookie cuts have you gotten? I've gotten a few, man. I always say when I'm talking to people who don't sew, I'm like, wear safety glasses. I've had needles. I've just grenaded needles, and I've pulled pieces of the needle out of my cheek, like right under my eye. I'm very lucky. There's dozens of times that needles have fragmented and gone into my face. What, asshole? You won't like it out here. Rotate between lighters, yeah. Get you a rope cutter if you don't have one, man. I avoided the rope cutter for decades, man. And once you use it, you know, I don't know, maybe a cumulative a couple hours, you can make totally straight cuts. For cutting anything 1 inch or quarter, and for cord, it's super easy, right? Got a hot knife right now. I'm talking about a rope cutter. I've got hot knife. I've got the Sailrite that you cut on the glass. I've got Wellers. I've got all that shit. But that fucking, just that $79 hot knife, that rope cutter. When you first start, and I've got a bunch of Sheffields, and I've got the digitals, and thanks, John Amanda, for all you, especially the information right on. Guys, Amanda and I recorded a probably 2-hour podcast video vlog. It'll be up on the members only section probably Saturday. It'll probably go live Saturday, maybe Sunday. When you first start to sew, expect a stiff neck, burnt eyes, staring into LED lights. I get that all the time, and I fucking sew all the time. Friend's boss put a screwdriver into his eye trying to take a bumper off. Had to drive to the emergency room. One eye was by himself. Owns a bot. That's horrible, man. And they say don't pull the screwdriver out, right? Ferro rods are useless. I would still like you to hide a ferro rod somewhere, right? I have thousands of lighters. We buy those packs of 50. What do they come? 3 to a flat, 3 cases of 50, 150, and then in those there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. So 600 lighters per case, I think, is what is in there. No, 150, 300, yeah, 600. Try to light my shop really well. Yeah, I want so much light. When I put a light up, it makes a shadow, so I put another light to kill that shadow. Where I sit and work, it's 10 degrees, maybe 15 degrees hotter than the rest of the building. I have so many lights. I want like off-road lights. I want to put like just 50-inch light bars on my shit. Coworker at hospital who is married had to call landlord who called plumber to change out a shower head. Neither her or husband could figure it out and had no tools. Yeah. They actually sell, they sell a little toolbox that comes with like some generic ass tools. It's not even expensive. And they sell like a his and hers version. Let them walk off, take a break because they didn't prep well enough. Light it with a Bic when they aren't looking. I love the videos where guys pour gasoline down gopher holes. Kid has small. Oh, that cat's retarded. He doesn't have a small head. He's just unusually fat. That cat is from the same litter as this other cat over here, the normal-looking one. They would have said, that boy's not quite right. Mom actually probably would have killed him. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off here. Everybody have an awesome weekend. We have a text and an email that went out tonight. We have got content that has gone up on all of our platforms all week long. Every day, some content goes up. We've got full-length videos going up. We've got tons of shorts going up, so check them out if you would. If you see anything funny, send it to a friend, tag a friend. If you see anything of value, send it to a friend, tag a friend. We appreciate you, and we will do this again. A stupid cat is a stupid cat. Yeah, that cat's absolutely retarded. It licks itself. It will get in one of these plastic boxes and curl up, and then it sweats, so it's all wet. This cat 2 weeks ago licked itself to the point its skin was bleeding. So the next several days, if it was against that box, it would leave like plasma and blood on the box, and he will completely heal up, and his skin will come back, and he'll look normal, and then he'll fucking do it all over again. He eats the same thing. He's in the same place with the other cats. This cat this cat's body just hates this cat. All right, guys, I'm out.